Hi and welcome in this video. I am so happy to do a live today to share with you some updates about my past experience working in the field of breatharianism, fasting, doing partnerships with people in the field of breatharianism or fasting, doing working in the field of fitness, wellness, and meditation. And I'm sharing with you why I am transitioning, why I am moving away from that, kind of not exactly fully away. Sorry, I'm on the bed right now, so it's a bit shaky when I speak, but that's all right. Yeah, the reason I want to make this video is because I have been asked a lot of questions on why, Maryam, aren't you doing any more partnerships? I have been working in the field of breatharianism, fasting, meditation for the past 9 years, since 2011, focusing only on that, creating events, seminars, courses with other people, other breatharians, or people into fasting or into meditation, or spiritual gurus, mentors, masters, whatever you want to call them, for the past 9 years again. And now I am moving on, and I have ended the last partnership I had with a breatharian this month, of September 2019, at the time I'm making this video. That was my last partnership, and right now I don't do any partnerships. Oh, sorry, I'm starting new partnerships with different type of people. I'm going to share why, what happened, blah blah blah. So yeah, sorry if I didn't answer your questions. I did receive many questions, whether it was, Maryam, should I go to this event with this breatharian person? Should I go to this course on fasting? What do you think about this? What do you think about these videos? And I've been sent links about testimonials of especially women sharing about their experience with breatharians, their experience with abusive situations, etc., etc. I won't go on. I don't really want this video to be a whole crying about a women's situation or abusive situations, but I will be sharing a bit about my own experience, although I don't feel like, how can I explain that? I'm taking my own responsibility for everything that happened in my past, meaning that when challenges arise, when unhealthy situation arise, I always take my responsibility, knowing that I am part of what I am experiencing. I have been creating that, and well, it's up to me to move on in a joyful and healthy way. We don't have to cry about our past. I actually teach people to be happy with their past, to make peace with their past, and share their story in a healthy way, in a way that is empowering, and move on. Okay? Right. Now, I do want to start with saying that the reason I don't work with certain people anymore is because I did not feel respected in the partnerships I had in the past, and in most of them. In, I would say, over 90% of the partnership that I had, the people I worked with, I didn't feel in a position where whether physically, mentally, emotionally, sexually, spiritually, financially as well, I was respected to the level I feel like I should have been respected. And I, again, as I take my responsibility, I do know that one of the reason is because I potentially had I had the potential to respect myself a bit more, to just say it real. And I think sometimes when we are so kind with other people, when we put other people forward, when we see the qualities and the potential in people way more than in ourselves, well, this is what can happen. Then when we work with others, we forget about ourselves, we put ourselves second, which is, it can be okay, but sometimes to the point that you forget about your own feelings, you forget about your own ethic, you forget about the way you want to work, the things that you accept and you don't accept, and your boundaries. Even though if at the beginning I've always been very clear in terms of agreement, in terms of what I accept and don't accept. And for example, in some of the last partnerships this year, I've always been clear with people when doing seminars, when doing courses, when doing events, that I wanted my own space and my own time. And this was accepted at the beginning, but then along the days, along the weeks, for some reason, it was forgotten and no longer taken into account. And this is one reason why I left. I think I could have had communicated on that, and I think I did. But due to the situation of traveling, being in another country, depending on a person to do this and this and that, being in a position where you are dependent on another person, horrible. Don't do it. Nope. Forget about it, because when you are in a position, men and women, where you depend on someone for events, when you depend on someone for your professional activity, when you rely on someone for everything, accommodation, transportation, anything really, well, then you put yourself in a position of risk where you are opening up to any kind of possible situation where you might be in trouble. You might be in trouble. Experience, don't do it. Okay, don't do like me. So when I was in this position where at the beginning I had my own space, okay, I won't say any names in this video. I won't say any names. If you guess, fine. Again, I highly respect people. Especially people I've been working with. I think they are great. I think they do a great job, but they are aspects which are also linked with extreme situation and extreme lifestyles. I will talk about in a minute, that create situation where we don't think normally. Our mental health is kind of challenged to a point that we don't see clearly anymore, and we don't know what reality is and fiction is, and we don't know about fantasy or reality, and we kind of get ourselves lost in this world that we create, which is like a bubble, and lead to dangers, okay, potential dangers and abusive situations, okay, because I believe those people who kind of like abuse other people to some extent, I'm not so sure if they're really conscious about it. I don't want to go into details. Maybe they are. I don't want to like protect them or tell them they really don't have anything to do with what they do. I think they really need help and mental help, and they really need to, it's important to remain balanced in the way we eat, in the way we exercise, in the way we connect with people, in the way we work, in the way we do administration, in the way we do business, because when we don't remain connected to a certain extent, even if it's just a little bit every day, like for example eating, you don't have to fast for years, for months, you don't have to, and if you do that, well, chances are you'll be more disconnected from reality, because you will forget about how the world works, because the world works around food, and that energy is creating certain patterns, certain way of functioning in your brain, in your body, in your thinking, in your physical activity, in your physical appearance, and that's fine. So it's good to know how to fast, but at some point, know why you're doing that. If it's to be poor, to live in a mountain, in a cave, isolated from other people, you better eat. You better eat like everyone else, 3 meals a day. Like your health should be more important than fasting or trying to reach a level for whichever powers or capacities that you won't even get because you look for them. These capacities and powers just appear because we are compassionate. We make life easier and happier for other people. That's where powers come, out of compassion and empathy. Okay, huge bracket to just say that I didn't feel respected because I didn't mention like I mentioned, yeah, I need my own space and I need my own time. And at some point, because I was so kind and I didn't say anything at some point, this was like forgotten by the partners I've been working with. I'm talking about one person really there specifically. And at some point, I ended up accepting being in the same room of the person, being in the same bed. Although this didn't last, at some point, I did come back to my own space and I did force that to happen. But this is what happened. And I was trusting the person that, when you talk about, how can I explain? This is another thing. When you have a definition of something, make sure the other person you work with has the same definition of that. Let's talk about celibacy, for example. My own definition of celibacy is it's you don't connect with other people intimately. You don't connect, like you don't touch other people, especially the other sex, although we can say gay is anyway. We don't connect with other people by touching, kissing, hugging, unless you give a hug to say hello. Like this is kind of a gray area. You don't have like, you don't go naked with another person, you don't sleep in the same bed, you don't do these things, and of course you don't have sex with this person. But to me, that is a definition of celibacy. You don't create relationships apart from friendship with someone. But I notice and realize that other people may have different definition of celibacy. Some people may think, okay, it's okay to, celibacy is about not having sex, but it's still okay to kiss, hug, touch, and do whatever with the other person, go naked in the same bed. For some people, that's okay, but that's not okay for me. So if you aren't crystal clear with your own definition of, let's say, celibacy in this example, and the other person's definition of the same word, I'm not even looking at the dictionary right now. I don't know what is written in a dictionary about celibacy, but if you don't agree with the same definition, chances are when you work with this person, when you connect with this person, when you hang out with this person, at some point, there are going to be trouble. There is going to be something that will be disalignment, incompatibility. No, there will be something because you haven't done the work of searching before you trust the person 100%. Like that's what I did. I trusted the person 100%, and I think that's where things can go wrong. Okay, like you can't blame the other person thinking, oh, he should have behaved this way, he should have known. No, people don't read your mind, or people don't know what is your definition, or people have the right to have different definitions. It's fine. So that's a very big lesson that I learned. Always, like, can't trusting someone doesn't mean you don't control everything. So now I'm more I'm more organized in that. I control and I check on people, and I have a very clear list of things in my behavior, things that I do, things that I don't do, etc. Okay, so to make it short, just saying, I felt confused when it come to a point where at the beginning, I ended up being in the same room of that person who was supposed to be my partner. We were doing events, my partner, like professionally, let me be clear, okay, professional events, seminars together. And well, this day we arrived in this big, huge house, and I was shown my room. No, sorry, I was shown one room, and that one room was for both of us, and there was only one bed. So I ended up being like that first night in the bed with the same person, but because I trusted that this person was into celibacy, just like me, I was joking one day saying, okay, this is your area of the bed, and this is my area. You don't cross that area, all right? This is how things started to go a little bit like beyond my limits. But I accepted because I felt like the person was respecting me and wasn't going in any further than that. So that day, everything was fine. He respected his space. I respected my own space. Everything was fine. From then on, I was like, great, I can trust this person. This person is into celibacy. Nothing's going to happen. Fine. Great. We can be in the same bed. Hooray. He's a man and he doesn't care. I felt like I finally found someone who was like really straight and really clear and really behaving well, because in the past I did have like kind of issues already with that. I don't mind, like my celibacy, like I don't mind seeing a guy naked. I don't like, things don't appear in myself, or I don't get excited seeing someone, I don't know, naked or in the same bed as me, or going into the shower. I don't mind these things. But I understand maybe for men it's slightly different. I don't know. I grew up with women. I grew up in goddess land. These things did not exist in my world. So I learned the process through experience, I guess we can say. Okay, next was after this situation. So I trusted this person. We went on and on, staying in the same room in hotels before the seminars, going traveling here and there, doing events. And that one day, I think this is where, like, because I think this is so weird though. I never question things like going astray or going weird. Like when a person says, for example, oh, I feel tired now, I'd be so kind that I'd say, oh, do you want a massage? Now, I never had bad intention when I said that. Okay, like massage, you just go and get a massage as a therapy. But I never thought a massage like something of an opening to go into, how can I explain, sexual experiences. No, no way. This doesn't exist in my world, like, or it did not exist in my world before. I'm going to talk about that after. So so when I started to, because I was trusting this person, being a celibate, So when that person started to say, I'm tired, blah, 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 because of all the events we were doing, I did suggest doing my best. Do you want a massage to feel better, to relax your body? And everything was fine. So did the massage, everything was fine. Still, I trust the person, everything is fine. And one day, for whichever reason, I don't know, the massage ended up, I start to be getting undressed. I'll be very honest with you. I don't care sharing about that, because I actually, as you can see, I can laugh about it, because again, I'm not seeing this as a, how can I explain, horrible, abusive situation. Even though taking a step back, I'm like, this shouldn't have happened. Like, it's not, I mean, in a way that is not really healthy. And if I knew how to behave better, how to set my limits in a different way, how to control before trusting, things would have been different. But do I regret? Do I wish it was different? Do I think that person is a really bad person? No, I take my own responsibility. Okay, again, so I'm not crying out, I'm an abused woman. No, I'm just sharing my experience in a way that maybe you can know for yourself, avoid going through the same experiences if you don't want that. And who knows, maybe live a happier life, right? And for all the women out there who did share their experience having the same kind of situation, well, it's important to focus on you, on how can you be a more empowered woman through this experience. How can you not make this happen again? How can you respect yourself more? How can you set your boundaries more? If you are a man going through the same situation, who knows, now in today's world, men can experience also abusive situation or weird situation. Also same. How can I respect myself more? How can I set my limits and boundaries? How can I really uh, allow myself to honor myself to a level that people know that this, my aura has a limit, it's boundary. They can't go even further than that. They can't cross the boundary. They can't go beyond what is, that quality, that power, that strength that you exude, that is making people feel like, oh, that is so wow. I don't want to cross that. I don't want to touch that person. I don't want to go beyond this field. This is really our responsibility. Okay, coming back to the situation. So that day I end up, God knows why, being undressed by the person. Now, the weird thing is, or because I was like, this is very strange to explain, but let me try and do my best. When you trust someone like 100%, you've been working with this person for years, you've been talking exchanges with this person. Oh my God, I'm receiving a phone call. Okay, fine. I'll answer after. When you've been trusting a person for so long, when you've been doing like literally, yeah, working with a person for so many years, when you've been just spending your days after days after days for months together, sharing events and seminars and things, and aligning on the same level of speaking, connecting mentally, sharing professionally, it's really hard to explain the feeling that when these things happen and you really don't expect that, you have no idea, no intention of this happening, you're like, it's like a shock. You feel like mentally you're not in reality. So instead of shouting, running away, giving that person a kick, some a slam on the face. Do we say that in English? Une claque, comme on dit en français, as we say in French. I was like paralyzed, kind of. I was like, what is going on? Like, am I being undressed? Like, what is happening? And I wasn't able to move. I was like, kind of like waiting for something to happen, a miracle, God's grace to come out down from the earth. I don't know, or the sky. I don't know. But it was really weird to explain that I didn't say nothing because I was shocked. Okay. Now, with a step back and going through the whole process and understanding why I didn't say anything, I think I was scared. I was fearful that we would go into a fight, or first I didn't realize the situation, and then I was scared of like my whole world was falling apart because I had put all that trust and literally my entire professional life on that person, like everything. That's why I say you should never be in a position where you are so dependent on someone that everything is about that person. Don't do that. Don't be self-sustaining, be independent, be like you have your own business, you have your own work, you have your own life, you have your own activities, but they shouldn't be depending on someone else to the point that without this person you can't really function. Nope, don't do that. So I think it was a dream in my life that someone would understand me so well that we could work together, travel together, and nothing intimate or nothing like sexual or nothing about that. I think I had this dream and I thought it would be possible. When I realized, nope, fake illusion. I think it was a bit of a shock. A bit of a shock to the point that honestly, I did share that in the previous course I'm just ending today. I did go through therapy to understand. I did go through therapy to understand what was happening, why this happened, why, like, because I had to quit after that. I just quitted everything, especially because it started to go weird. Like I was asked to pay for taxi, I was asked to pay for this and that. Also, I did say I don't mind paying for hotels, but at some point, life was sending me experiences showing me it's not okay, Maryam. That situation, that relationship is not okay. Move away, go, goodbye. And things that were really weird with the person is I started to question things like, so I thought you were into celibacy, so what if someone sees you hugging or what? And the answer would be, oh, I just pretend that person is silly or saying something that is weird, or like basically manipulating the person into telling the person wondering why you hug someone that this person is insane, which is insane in itself. Like you see what I mean? Someone telling you that you should question. Or when we were doing these events and this person was saying, oh, if you cheat on someone, if you go and see another person, you cheat on your wife, or you shouldn't say that to your wife. And I was like, wait, why would you say something so weird? I started to question things because it was just little details and glimpses here and there that made me question the integrity of the person. And because I'm so much into integrity myself, that wasn't okay for me. That wasn't okay for me. It wasn't okay. Or another example is when someone was coming to this person and saying, how is it true you haven't been eating for so many years? And he wouldn't answer exactly yes and no. He would say, I've been on the path for so many years, but I know that, like, I feel like it's not okay to tell someone or pretend to someone you haven't been drinking or eating at all for so many years when it's not actually true. And I know because I was sharing with a person, being in the restaurant, being in those places, having a good time. I'm not saying it's bad to drink and eat. Absolutely not. I'm just saying if you hide it, and if you don't tell people or you pretend you are not eating and drinking when you actually are, it's not okay. It's not okay. So for me, all of these elements made me question, take a step back. And it's hard to actually think about that when you are in the situation, because what happens, because it really is a manipulative situation where you are with some kind of gurus or people who actually give you their ideas to a point that you get influenced, thinking that the way you behave is wrong. The way you share, when I was sharing seminars, he would tell me, you shouldn't share this way, you should align to what I say. And that's, like step by step, you realize you are going into manipulative behavior. And when someone tells you that you should manipulate other people as well, especially the customers, it's not okay. Like that was not okay for me, because I understood this is mental health issues. This is mental health issues that need someone to solve that needs someone to needs a doctor, needs a specialist. And it's not okay. The more we go into that, the more we forget about reality, the more we forget about empathy, compassion, the more we take people for silly people, for idiots. It's not true. Like I'm not for that at all. So this including added to the how abusive part of like sexual behavior that I wasn't okay with. That wasn't okay for me. That was it. So that's why I quitted this partnership. I think really with all the details I've been giving to you, it's fair. I mean, I have waited the maximum I could to make it work and to do it in a healthy way, but it just was not working the way I wanted. Okay, so I think, again, if we come back to a conclusion on that, I think you should be very careful with people who have tendencies to have extremely like celibacy is best than being with someone. It's not true. It's absolutely not true. If you are with someone who is kind, is aligned to your energy, is good to you, is is aligned basically energetically to you, is supportive to you, you do things together, you share together, you respect each other, that's fine, that's great. That's even probably greater than being alone, isolated, not knowing what to do, where to go, and feeling in a position where you're just not happy or bored or don't connect with others. We are social beings, so connecting with others is super important. Like that's part of our human being, humanity. So I today I used to think celibacy. I think no, I didn't mind being a celibate. I enjoyed that, but I wasn't like promoting celibacy, or maybe I was. Maybe I don't remember, because I feel like it's another world. Maybe I was promoting celibacy. Okay, let's be clear. I don't honestly very remember very much if I was promoting this as better than being non-celibate. But if I did, I'm very sorry. I noticed that being extreme isn't okay. And I think the reason I attracted people with extreme behavior in my life is because I was so extreme with myself, so such a perfectionist, and so then extreme with people. When you behave this way, you're not kind to yourself. Then you attract the same thing. You attract people who aren't kind to you. And I learned the lesson. I learned the lesson. So I thank my therapist for that, to open my eyes to, Maryam, you don't have to be so hard on yourself. You don't have to be so pushy with yourself. You can enjoy and relax. And I think since then, moving on, working with, I would say, normal people who aren't into extreme fasting, extreme celibacy, extreme what else, diet change, or it's so great. It's so great. I feel way more balanced, I guess, and I feel like my partnerships are way healthier now. And that's why I don't want to go back. I don't want to work with Brazilian anymore. I don't want to hear about that. Doesn't mean that I have quit the past. It just means that I live the past my own way. And that's another thing. Do your own way. Do your own things. There's probably as many paths as they are people when it comes to fasting, meditation, Brazilianism, fitness, everything. Find your own path, find your own way to do things, and strive in that, and learn from your own experience, and maybe get inspired by other people as well, but don't get influenced. And the limit, the boundary can be very, very subtle. All right. Again, I think those people I've been working with, they do great events, they do great seminars, they do great processes, whatever. But I wouldn't go there today because I trust myself and my own guidance and my own power. And it feels so great to be like in control, kind of, in your life again, control of your life. It feels so great to be, I guess, free. That'd be the word, to feel free, instead of being listening to someone tell you how much to eat, what to not eat, how much to fast, how long, what is good to do, who you should talk to, who you should avoid, where you should live, where you should not live, how much money you should have, not have, what you should do with your money, where you should travel, how much you should travel. I was listening to that, like literally to all of those things. I was listening to other people before. How you should meditate, how long. Nope. Follow you, do you. That's the best thing. That's the best thing. Okay, so to finish to conclude this video, do I want to say something else? I am doing this event called the 21-day process, remixed and reupdated according to my way, with someone else, with my dearest friend. Okay, I could share a bit more about that later on, but right now I call him a friend, and his name is Matthew, and he's great. He's an athlete. He's been working in the field of fitness and fasting as well for so many years. You can check on my website. This is the event we are doing online starting this coming month of October, and I'll be very honest with you. He has a big space in my heart and life. I'm not, as I was saying before, I'm not into celibacy anymore. I think it's because I don't mind any. And I feel like I have found someone who is very supportive of my work. We do work in the same area. We do walk the same path. And this is very, how can I say that? It's very beneficial. It's very beneficial. And because you are with someone doesn't mean that you should lose your independence, or you should lose your freedom, or you should lose your integrity or purity. No, you don't. You can set up your own rules as long as you know what you want and you know what you don't want, and you're very clear with that and you communicate on that. You can have great relationships. And that's what I am experiencing right now. So it feels great. Okay, and last but not least, I did share that, yes, working or being extreme yourself or working with extreme people, you'll notice that it's hard. It's hard because what comes up from that is issues. When we are extreme, we go through extreme problems, extreme challenges. When we are extreme with our diet, with the way we behave, with what we should do and not do, then we attract that in our life. We attract people like that. We attract partnership like that, and we attract difficult situations because we don't let go and we don't learn to relax and enjoy the simple moment and simplicity of life. We don't have to be so hard on ourselves. We don't. We can have goals and challenges, but we don't have to be so hard on ourselves. Okay, so I think, yeah, I'll end with that. When we are very extreme, especially in fasting, as I said, we do lose connection with the world. We forget about how it works to even like generate money and be prosperous, because working, like living in abundance, is serving other people. And if we don't know what other people want, we don't know how to help other people because we are so disconnected with them, chances are we're going to end up miserable and poor. So it's important to know, like, always remember why you make this decision. Why do you want to go fasting so much? Or why do you want to go fitness so much? Why do you want to meditate so much? Why do you want to go into an ashram or go to this process or this event when really you have everything here? You have everything right here, right? And if you learn to trust that power inside, if you learn to see the beauty you have inside, if you learn to respect yourself, list your criteria of ethic and wisdom and beauty and joy and power and everything you have, and learn to love yourself and learn to respect that temple that is your body and your spirit, you will really strive way more, and you won't attract to you situations that aren't so nice, right? And if you do attract that, well, learn the lesson. I lost a lot of I guess I did lost, back then, confidence, and also money, and also time, I guess. But you can always catch these things back. Even when we say time, you can't get time back. I believe you can, because everything you will do after, you will do it way faster. Okay, because you will have the maturity, the wisdom, and be in peace with whatever had happened. I'm in peace with whatever happened. I'm just saying goodbye, next, okay, to life, and that's it. But I'm still there. Now I do work with corporations, CEOs, and big companies in very different ways and fields, helping them with their marketing strategy. But it doesn't make me another person. I'm still Maryam, still sharing in simplicity, still dancing, still making videos in my room or house. I live with other people in my house, and it feels great. It feels just different. It feels great. Simple life, simple joy, and that's it. That's it. The recipe to happiness. Okay, I gotta go to actually my dance class. Catch you up later. I love you. And hope you have a good evening, day, whatever is your time where you are. Bye now.